Yep. Hey guys, it's Lock and Load. It's Monday, and it looks like this thing called Google is kind of working today. Welcome to the Monday night Lock and Load show on the interwebs, broadcasting across the world and on gun channels. And happy holidays to everybody out there. I hope everyone is having a peaceful, joyous time with their families, and there's lots of presents being gathered and given. For me, it's Hanukkah, and it's really fun. The thing about Hanukkah is back in the ancient times, the Maccabees used to fight back the darkness with swords. And let me turn on this camera for a second. Here on Hanukkah, we fill this menorah up with candles, and we fight the darkness with candles and light instead of swords. Of course, I have a sword and a Glock. But so the first question on tonight's agenda was, if shit hits the fan, what's your go-to pistol? Squib, I know your internet's working. You go first.
SHTF handgun?
Yeah, you can't carry everything that you have. So what's your go-to battle rattle gun?
Well, you're talking about handgun specific.
Yeah, not long guns, handguns.
Does it have to be something I have or something I want to have?
Well, give me the one that you either for now, and then tell me what you'll go to if you don't have it.
1911.
1911. Do you have one?
Yes.
Oh, well then you're set. So why would you pick that one?
Reliable, accurate. It's got enough power to stop a threat.
Okay. Dusty, if you're not roboting and your internet is working, what's your shit hit the fan handgun?
I'm going to go with my 1911 45 also. If it was a gun I didn't have, I probably would consider a 44 Magnum.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
But I have a 44 Magnum pistol.
And go Dirty Harry. There was a Clint Eastwood marathon last night on Sundance.
I have no problem dropping a deer, even confronting some type of a large animal with the 44 mag. So if I was hungry, I would not hesitate to drop a deer and eat that deer.
The 44 mag, somebody's going to argue that it's heavy or it's got big, a lot of recoil, or you're going to have it in a firearm where you can't carry lots of capacity. Well, I don't need a lot of capacity if I can hit what I point the gun at. I can one hand a Super Red Hawk with an 8-inch barrel. I can line up them sights, and where I point, it hits. Same thing with a Desert Eagle and a 44 mag. So maybe, I don't know what it is about the sights on those two handguns, but there's certain guns. One of the reasons I like my 1911, what I pointed at, I usually hit. So, and then I've got other guns where there's nothing wrong with the sights. It's me. Me and the sights just don't agree. And even though they're manageable or high capacity or whatever you want to call it, I don't hit the broadside of a barn with it. So if I've only got 6 rounds in a Super Red Hawk, but all 6 go on the target and they devastate those targets, then I don't need 15-round double stack.
And there's a difference between you and me, though. If I have a gun that I can't hit the side of the barn with, it goes bye-bye. Keep guns I can't shoot.
And have you noticed that certain things, it's not just how they feel, it's how the sights line up, or it's the recoil or something like that. And then you hand it to somebody else and they just plug away at it and you go, what the hell's wrong with me?
Well, and that's what tell me, that when you pick up a gun, the minute you pick up that gun, whether you'll shoot it good or not. If you pick that gun up and it's comfortable in your hand, buy that gun because it's going to be a good gun for you.
Well,
I can make this gun work in my hand. It's not going to be a good gun for you.
I definitely like the guns with the recoil and the weight. I like big, heavy. I want to feel like I'm picking up a hammer, and the if it's heavy, the recoil doesn't seem to bother me. Even something with light recoil, if it's a light gun or it's small, it just barely fits in my hand. It's too snappy. I don't like it, and I know that that's a big turnoff. Some people, they handle a Desert Eagle, and they don't like it. It's too heavy, or it just feels uncomfortable. But
So Desert Eagle over like a revolver version of a 44 Magnum.
Either or, I would say, my go-to is for what I have is my 1911. That 45 AARP does the job, and it's proven.
ACP, AARP is all Association of Retirement People.
It's an old round and it's slow, so it's AARP. It's a term of endearment in this case, but yeah, the 44 mag would be definitely my go-to, but it'd have to be something big and
so 45 is like an old person's gun.
yeah, I'm an old person, so it works for me.
Oh,
It's like Squib said, it's going to travel about 900 feet per second. It's a big, heavy, slow round.
And people say that knockdown power is a myth, and they might be right scientifically, but I mean, as far as what it does, it'll put down a threat. It'll put down a threat, and I'm not worried about it. It might not cut through body armor, or it might not penetrate steel. It might just put a real big dent in it, but it's going to hit hard.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with my GP 100 357 Magnum.
That's a good choice.
Because I know it will. If somebody wants to kill me, then it'll stop them. So, and let's hope it never comes to that. But that's I'd go with my GP 100. The one I sleep by when the grid is, grid up guns are different than shit hits the fan guns. It's just it's a whole different situation, and there's lots of different scenarios for shit hits the fan. It's not all dystopian future, but it's if you want a gun that you can rely on, I can't really think of anything better than the GP 100 with enough. It's got enough firepower. It's not a 44 Magnum, but it's got enough whip ass. So that's my pick. And if you obviously if you have to go gray man, then you'd probably pick a subcompact, but that's really not what the question was. So, all right, let's see. Oh, I wanted to share something I got.
Hold up a second. Ohio's saying that we're not coming through on gun channels, just on YouTube.
We're not coming through on gun channels? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't copy the link over. That's my bad. Because I had let me fix that. Thank you, Ohio. Let me grab the link, copy it, and paste it from where it's supposed to be. That's my bad. I was just got here a little late because I had to go pick up some meds from Walmart. Yeah, that's my fault. Let me fix that. I'll do the whole copy paste thing. Copy link over in Firefox, which has copy link location, which Internet Explorer doesn't have. Then I go back to Internet Explorer, back to Gun Channels. Yeah, Gun Channels has last week's show on. Let me updating video. 1 sec. Yeah. So basically, I had to go pick up my sleep med, and it's a whole long story, but let's edit overview. Delete the old one. Sorry about the delay, folks. insert media, paste, uncheck, okay, save, overview, view group, and okay, so now if you update, it should work. Okay, updated, refresh for video.
That means I got to mute gun channels too.
Yeah. Well, in this media world we live in, everything's crazy. Everything's connected to each other, and whether you want it to be or not. Yeah, thanks for letting me know, Ohio. It was just I had to run out to Walmart to pick up my sleep meds. By the time I got back, I didn't have like more than 3 seconds, so anyway, okay, so we got that part of the guns. I see Jesse James out there, and Ohio, and Patrick. Patrick says he likes his CZ P07 and 9mm or the GP100. See, so Desert Eagle 44 Magnum holds 8 rounds, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to take your word on that. I don't own a Desert Eagle. Scrib says, yeah, okay. Just reading the external on YouTube. So I did pick up something for my preps, minor little thing. When I got the, it was like came in the Amazon basket, like when you select something. When I got the the chemical warfare decontamination lotion last week that I shared, I also got hard to be everywhere. I got this particular item from, I don't know, you've heard of Crossbreed holsters. They also sell this arc protector, so you could it's like a big bag that's resistant to EMPs, so I could throw my laptop or cell phone or Trezor and protect my Bitcoin or any other information on my laptop.
There it is. I knew it would come out sooner or later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah, well, almost hit.
No,
yeah, it almost hit 20,000, bitches. Anyway, yeah, I've been happy with that investment. So yeah, I was looking at some new properties in Hawaii that I could buy with cryptos, but oceanfronts, only oceanfront this time. No infinity pool, but there's room for one.
Tell us again exactly how many complete Bitcoins you possess in your imagination.
It doesn't. Well, when Bitcoin hits 1 trillion, it won't matter.
less than.
Are they the ones from Chuck E. Cheese's?
No, they aren't. I'm not allowed to. No, first, I'm not allowed to eat pizza anyway.
Oh, okay.
And
I like that, Squib. Sorry, I had to use it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll just explain this as simply I can. Squib, do you have tires on? Do you have wheels on your car?
No, all of my vehicles have treads.
Really?
Yes. I drive a Tiger 1 tank to work every day.
Must have been hell to get a safety check.
We have that in Michigan. We're not a communist state.
Yeah, well. So did you say you got I was trying to remember going through all the text messages over the weekend. Did you say you got a new gun, Squib?
No.
You're going to make me pull out my cell phone.
That would have been me saying that my nephew got a new gun and he and I was shooting Saturday afternoon.
Oh, that was you. I get, yeah, all on that.
You know, we're all from Michigan here,
Yeah.
so well,
group text messaging gets all jumbled up. Okay, so I saw this Western the other day, and compared to all other Westerns, I thought it was the most gruesomely violent Western Uh, and Dusty, don't say what it is because I'm pretty sure you have it figured out already. But I was wondering if anybody out there could guess what Western it is. So I'm going to give some hints. And out of all, I mean, like I was watching the Clint Eastwood marathon last night on Sundance, and it had, in a Clint Eastwood Sergio Leone Western, basically people shoot each other from a distance away and then they fall down. And that's not very gruesome. Or somebody rides away on a horse and somebody shoots him in the back at like 200 yards and he falls off his horse into the water. And or they open up with a Gatling gun and everybody falls down. But it's not like gruesome violence. It's just people get shot at a distance and they fall off their horse or fall down and don't move anymore. Most of the time. But I saw this other movie last night and I was wondering if anybody could guess what it is. So I'm going to give a few hints, and if you could name the character, and that I'm the character and one of the main characters in here. It does have quite a few stars in it, and I'll throw some dialogue clips at you. Here's one. You can hear it. I don't know. That was one.
That was terrible. That was robot. That was terrible.
I'll play it one more time. And
white power.
No, that's not what he said.
we can't make it out. So.
Oh, okay. Well, how about this one? This one is racist, so I apologize in advance, but.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I know what this is.
Right. So there was snow in this movie, and basically this is about a bunch of people who are trapped in winter, and it's snowing in a cabin. And pretty much all the characters kill each other by the end of the movie.
Oh, I know what movie.
Did they resort to cannibalism?
Weeks ago. No, but it is a gory movie.
Yeah, and what I found interesting about it is that they just didn't kill the characters. First, you got to know the characters, and then they killed each other. It wasn't like you were just killing somebody who rode up and snarled. It was like you got to know them, and then they all died by the end of the movie. And I thought that was pretty unusual for a Western. So I was going to see if anybody out there can guess what it is out of those bad sound samples.
Well, give the star. That would be the best hint.
Well, there's more than one star. If I give out too many stars, I'll give you another hint. It was shot in. It was one of the few Westerns. It's an ultra Panavision, which means it has the widest possible aspect ratio in existence.
Yes, because we all work for the movie industry and know what the hell that means.
You don't know what an aspect. Well, there are people who know what an aspect ratio is that don't work for the film industry.
You put the ass in aspect. You're gonna miss me.
You put since you wouldn't let me use my "do you have a wheel on your car" analogy. Let's see if anybody else can guess. Let me look on the YouTube side if I can make it there. Well, I'm not allowed to eat pizza, so no. Well, this is not How the West Was Won. This film was shot after How the West Was Won. This has a wider aspect ratio. It was shot in ultra Panavision, I think in 65 millimeter, and they expanded it to 70. And they had the ultra pan. I forgot what they said. They refurbished the old Panavision lenses for modern cameras, and the cinematography was very well done, and they spent a lot of money to make this movie. And I don't think they made it all back, but
And it was
Anyway.
filmed in early 17. The refilming of it.
Let me see. Let's see.
Hey, we got a thumbs down.
All right, man. That must be Night Strike or something, or Doctor No, or who knows. I'll give you one more hint. The director is Quentin Tarantino. And that should give it away.
Didn't see that coming.
Yeah. There's a lot of snow. Let's see. The stars were Kurt Russell, Samuel Jackson.
What's the lady's name?
Wait, there's also Bruce Dern. He's been in a lot of westerns.
Who?
Yep.
Bruce Dern.
Who?
Never mind. Dealing. The lady's name was I didn't bring my reading glasses here. Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Yeah.
Who?
Well, if you ever have a car with a wheel on it, let me know, Squib.
You don't recognize her, Squib?
No, I don't.
Oh. She's been in a lot of westerns, and she's very good.
Let's see.
I know the movies. I'm trying not to give it away because I know the movie.
Well, I know if anybody had Google on, they could figure it out from all the hints I've given. But it was a very violent, gruesome movie. When they I think I was watching the Clint Eastwood movie with Lee Van Cleef and Eli Wallach, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And in the beginning scene, one of the beginning scenes of that film, where Lee Van Cleef, I think the scene is called Unwanted Visitor or an Uninvited Guest or something. And nope, it's not Bone Tomahawk. He basically, Lee Van Cleef shoots an old man in his bed, but he puts a pillow over his face and then he shoots him. So in reality, all you're seeing on camera is Lee Van Cleef shoot a pillow. Yeah. But in this film, when somebody shoots somebody, when Samuel Jackson shoots somebody in the face twice, you see like the skull explode, which is obviously a special effect. He didn't actually shoot somebody. Yep, Ohio's got it. Yep. It's wait, let me. If you haven't figured it out by now, I'm going to turn on the camera for 1 sec. If I can find my way back to that screen. Jeez. Here, okay, camera, please. The Hateful Eight. No one comes up here without a damn good reason. And it was kind of a detective story in that basically Kurt Russell and Samuel Jackson play bounty hunters, and they each have bounties. Kurt Russell's prisoner is alive, and she's a girl, and all of Samuel Jackson's bounty are dead and frozen, and they roll up into a cabin that's filled with people from another stage, and they try and they, being kind of in the detective-y kind of a business, a bounty hunter is kind of a detective. They try and figure out who everybody really is, and nobody trusts each other the whole time. And there's basically 8 people in this canyon, and that's why it's called the Hateful Eight. And basically, by the end of the movie, everyone kills each other and nobody lives. And that was really.
Oh wait!
Did you figure out who drank the poison right off the bat?
I'm sorry. What? What, Squib?
It's Reservoir Dogs all over again.
Well, have you seen this movie?
No, but you just described Reservoir Dogs, which was also a Tarantino film where everybody dies.
Yeah, so these people are basically trapped in a cabin, and they're trying to figure out none of them are who they say they are, except the two bounty hunters. And
Didn't mean to cut you off there, Dusty.
what were you going to say, Dusty?
I was just asking Hawaii if he figured out who drank the poison right off.
Well, I figure Kurt Russell's character, because he threw up first.
And who put the poison in the coffee?
Not the guy who was playing Silent Night on the piano.
So you was paying attention. That was a good. I mean, it had a good plot to it.
Well, it kept you guessing, because first they showed it from the perspective of the Samuel Jackson and Kurt Russell's character when they drove in, and then it was divided up into sections, and then they showed it from the perspective of the bad guys when they rode up, and basically, I mean, but boy, it wasn't the way everybody got killed pretty gruesome in that. It wasn't. It was up close and personal. Execute. It wasn't like you shoot somebody and they fall off their horse, or you fire a gun and it goes bang, or Lee Van Cleef shoots a pillow and smirks. It was just.
It was blood everywhere. Yeah. Okay, let's go on. I watched one this week, and I'm kind of curious at how accurate it actually told the story. Have any of you watched the Indianapolis on Netflix?
I've seen it in a long time ago, but not on Netflix. I saw it on TV a long time ago, and I think I did a show on the Indianapolis.
Was Quint on board? Quint from Jaws, was he on board?
No.
Total.
And what is the star's name? I keep wanting to say Nick Nolte, but it's not him. It would been
not
Val Kilmer. Was it Val Kilmer?
It's I'm blank. Thanks.
Huh?
Nick Cage.
No.
Nick Cage.
Another
yes.
Nick.
Yes, he was star of it.
Actually,
he was actually the ship's.
His real name is Nicholas Coppola.
Nicholas Coppola.
His stage name.
But I was just curious to how true the story was to the actual event, and I haven't had time to go back and really read the actual event.
Well, I know the event better than I know the film, so I couldn't tell you. Basically, a Japanese skipper of a Japanese sub who hadn't sunk any ships in the entire war was just waiting, and the perfect silhouette of a ship came right in front of him, and he fired 2 torpedoes. That was his job.
Were they regular torpedoes, or did they use a chitin with the suicide torpedoes?
They were powered by blockchain.
Well, according to the story on the movie, they was delivering the H-bombs to Japan to be loaded to
A-bombs.
Dropped on Japan.
They were A-bombs, not H-bombs.
Yeah.
And it was on their way. I think was it on the way back they were sunk?
Yeah,
it was on the way back. They were sunk.
Yeah, they were going from Saipan or from Tinian, I forget which one, to the Philippines. Yeah, and they were after that they were ordered to the Philippines, and basically the sub was in between the Tinian and the Philippines on the shipping routes, and the story is the captain decided, because of a heavy fog and no moonlight to stop zigzagging, and what happened was they called and he got torpedoed, but they court-martialed the captain, and while he was still alive for not zigzagging, and they actually got the skipper of the Japanese ship as a witness, and basically who could not understand why they were doing this to a military person in their own navy, and he said that it wouldn't have made any difference whether he was zigzagging or not. and and
The zigzagging, the evasive maneuvers actually make it harder for them to hit you with the torpedo.
right. Well, I'm assuming that this Japanese captain of the Japanese submarine knows better than us what was required, and he testified that it wouldn't have made any difference if that ship was zigzagging given the weather conditions. What happened was there was a break in the fog, and the moonlight just came out for a minute and silhouetted the ship. And he saw him and he opened fire, and it wouldn't have made it. He said the Japanese captain of the sub testified it wouldn't have made any difference. You could believe him or not. I don't see.
They showed that on the movie also, so I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie. If you like that type of movie,
I don't
but
think.
sometimes
It's just
you
such a
question how
sad
true-
story. It's just such a sad story of all those sailors having to fight off hundreds of sharks in the water, and most of them not making it.
right.
You have to be up for seeing a really sad movie. I mean, I guess, at least in my opinion, to watch. So that's probably some movies I don't watch. I have a hard problem. I still haven't watched Schindler's List. I mean, I have a hard problem watching Holocaust movies or stuff like that, where it's just going to be sad and everybody gets killed, and it's like, I don't know. Of course, I liked Quentin Tarantino, but I didn't have any. It wasn't a true story, and the Hateful Eight, but it was a fun story to watch. But it wasn't like all these people died. So, and you didn't know that until the very end, anyway.
And also this week, I've been watching the Hatcoys versus McCoys.
I haven't been watching that. Feuding isn't my way, but with regard to Kelly's Heroes, which we were talking about on text over the weekend, I mean, the whole thing about Kelly actually escaping Kelly's Heroes after they got the gold out of the German bank, there is no way they get through American or German lines back to anywhere with 125 boxes of heavy gold. They would be stopped by patrols and all along the roads. There's no way they get out of there. The Germans, maybe they could get to Switzerland or fade into the woodwork in Germany. But I mean, if they're in France, there's no way that they make it out of there with a truckload full of gold. I mean, there's no way. I mean, it's a deuce and a half full of gold. But somebody's going to stop them at a checkpoint and say, where's your papers? Where's your orders? Who the hell are you? And what's in the truck? I mean, you're going through a combat area. I mean, there's checkpoints everywhere, right?
Guess they should have had Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, they could have gone to a French cafe. They could have gone to a French cafe with a Wi-Fi and mailed it to their relatives.
You want to know what Kelly's Hero and Bitcoin have in common? They're both works of fiction.
They're not. I was going to say, if you think like nobody backs the concept of the circle or the wheel. Somebody invented the circle a long time ago, and it doesn't have to be guaranteed by the government or a central bank. It's a circle. Everybody knows it works. It's mathematics.
No, circle doesn't work because in your wedding vows it says they talk about the wedding band and it's an unbroken circle. And I've been divorced twice, so that's a load of shit.
Well, it works on your car.
Maybe I should marry my car.
You got lost me. How did we go from Bitcoin to being married?
Because he's talking about the unbroken circle.
No, you're talking about the unbroken circle. I'm talking about mathematical concepts working outside of being endorsed by the government. I don't need a government endorsement or a central bank to make a wheel work. I know it's going to work every time. Same thing with Bitcoin.
Oh, that's what I just
mathematics. It's an open source mathematical code. Anybody can see it any time, and it works because math works.
What is backing that coin?
Mathematics. It's a It's math.
Yes.
Mathematics.
Okay, so you keep comparing it to the dollar then.
I don't keep comparing it to the dollar. You guys keep. That's because that is ever since you were a child. People put little pieces of paper that's either said 1, 5, 20, or 100 in your hand, and that is how you buy things. At least it has been up till now, and it's just right now that is like what you're looking at with Bitcoin, the national debt, and the end of the fiat currency system coming to a crashing end. It's like you're all dinosaurs looking up at this big comet coming down. It's going to land in the Gulf of Mexico and just blow up, and you haven't fathomed the consequences of what's about to happen, and that you're all about to go extinct. And because to you it's just a comet in the sky. It's just a light in the sky that you don't comprehend the consequences of. So
there's nothing to back it, though. There's
nothing to back. What do you think is backing the dollar? Mathematics backs Bitcoin. Okay. What backs the dollar?
It's like
tell me what backs the dollar.
If I sold you an AR-15,
gold does not back the dollar.
I sold you an AR-15, so you'd finally get off your ass and get one, okay? And you said I'll pay you in Bitcoin. Deal's off. You want to pay me in dollars? Okay, I'll sell it.
I got a Tavor. I don't need an AR.
I'm just saying.
If you tried to buy my AR in Bitcoin, I'd probably tell you to go jump in a lake.
Yeah, we'd have
you
Matt
can pay me dollars.
I don't. Hey, if you don't want my Bitcoin, I'm not offering to give you any Bitcoin.
But I'll tell you this, I will take the stolen French gold from the bank and somehow make it.
You have to escape. You would have to. Kelly's Heroes would have to go through.
Actually,
border guards, checkpoints, allied checkpoints. There was no way they would get like 20 miles.
They couldn't get that much gold out of the country, but if they only had a few bars of gold each, they could have gotten it out of.
They didn't have just a few bars of gold each. They had 125. They had
when you're in a combat zone, if you can carry it, you can smuggle it out. If you can put it in your vehicle, you can smuggle it out. Anything more than that. No, that truck, it was open in the bed, but if that was an American truck and they had that hidden inside of parts of the truck, they might have. But then it's not like they're necessarily going to keep the truck. The truck could have got transferred to somebody else or whatever. Unless they can follow the truck back to America, they're not going to be able to keep it. So it's what they can carry on their person. If you can fit it in your pack and things like that, you can get it back home.
And the thing about Bitcoin is, like, if you were in Greece and all the banks closed. And they said the bank said you can only take out 20 euros a week from their accounts, and that actually happened. And you can't transfer any of it out of the country. You can't all the money staying. You can't take any money out of the country. You can only take out like 10 euros a week or whatever. And people had to try and live off of that, even though it was their money and they couldn't take it out. Well, if you have Bitcoin, you could send it across international borders just by pressing a number pressing send on your keyboard, and there's no banks. The international boundaries don't matter.
Bank to take out money, which euros, I'd think I'd rather have Bitcoin than euros. Ugh. Anyhow, if you're going to the bank to take out money, it's because you need cash right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Bitcoin is not real, so you can't use it.
It's intangible. You keep saying it's not real. It's intangible.
You're talking about sending it to another country. I need to take it down to the grocery store and buy me some beer right now. Well, no, you got to ship it.
Well, people were trying to get their money out of Greece because the banks weren't letting them have access to their own money. So they wanted it. People were trying to take whatever money they could get and put it in a German bank, because German banks weren't doing that. The Greece banks weren't. So these people are stuck in Greece. The banks won't release any of their money. They won't even release enough money for the people to eat. But if they had Bitcoin, they could put it in they could send it to Germany. They could open a German account, and then they could leave the country and go to Germany. And it's what I'm telling you is that it's an international currency. It's not just the United States and dollars we're talking about here. It's that all over the world, it can be used internationally without regulation, without governments, and without banks having shit to say about it. And so it's scary to them, because it's like they didn't see it coming. And what backs it's if you don't need to know who Euclid is to believe that there's such a thing called, he may have invented geometry, but geometry exists whether or not Euclid backs it up. So we don't need Euclid to back up all the concepts of geometry. And you don't need the government or Euclid to when you roll your car down the highway to know that your tires are going to work and that wheels are going to work, because these are proven things, just like mathematics is. And that's what Bitcoin is. It's consensus mathematical algorithm, and it's backed by mathematics.
So when I go to the store to get some reload supplies and beer, and they say, how will you be paying today? And I say Bitcoin, and they call security.
That's what BitPay cards are for. You can transfer your Bitcoin to BitPay card and just run your Visa card through, and no worries.
Okay, now you're jumping into something else.
I am.
You are still using, you are turning that Bitcoin to a registered currency by doing that with that Visa card. But he is actually saying we are willing to take Bitcoin and turn it to money so it's spendable and own the Bitcoin. Bitcoin
is currency.
It's not a recognized currency, though.
It's recognized by the people. It's not it's recognized by the people. Like we don't need the banks to recognize us. We don't need the banks. Yesterday, I sent here's what I want to show you. I was going to share this earlier. Talk about how JP Morgan Chase Banks doesn't know how to do anything right and is not letting the people transfer their own money around from place to place.
They won't give me any issues.
Really? Well, here, let me show you one.
I even get a free safe deposit box.
Do you have a an account with Chase?
Yes.
Do you have Chase? Have you tried to use Chase QuickPay?
No, I just use the online bill pay, QuickPay. I don't need that.
Right. So if you want to send money to your kid or your daughter or your parents or an aunt or anybody,
just do it like I'm paying a bill.
Well, but Chase QuickPay isn't a bill. Chase QuickPay used to work on its own, and then they switched to Clear Exchange, and so you would have to go to this other company who would handle the transfer from bank to bank. And now they Clear Exchange said, okay, we want to do this. We want to have this phone app called Zelle, and I want to share this with you so you'll understand what I'm talking about. They're trying to do what Bitcoin does, and they completely failed at it. Here's this app called Zelle.
Real.
This is so if you go to Chase and you wanted to use Chase QuickPay, you would have to download this app onto your iPhone. You used to be able to do it with just by signing up for Clear Exchange, but they closed that. And they make you try and get this. Now, I'm going to share the reviews on this piece of shit. And basically, it says Zelle has partnered with leading banks and credit unions across the U.S. to bring you a set. So you have to get this app instead of just going to your bank or your bank online. So check out these reviews. Cannot get any customer service support past first tier. The reps that answer. Let's see, this app is horrible. Not only does it keep crashing, but it asks me to verify my cell phone. Every time I try to add a card to my account, it tells me to call customer service. And guess what? Customer service is in India. And so you have to, in order for Chase to use Chase QuickPay, basically, look, there's 115 reviews 1,500 reviews total. 1,246 basically gave it 1 star. One guy said that he would give it 0 stars, and somebody else says this app causes cancer. It's so bad. And it basically, so if you want to transfer money from Chase to another bank, you need to download a cell phone app, get Google Play to work, and you do.
I use it to transfer money to my credit unions all the time, back and forth. It doesn't cost me a penny.
Well, basically they won't do it anymore from maybe from your account to your account is one thing, but from your account to somebody else's account, because you're talking about bill pay, and I'm not talking about bill pay. I'm talking about Chase QuickPay, and so they're making you use this app. And so why in hell would anybody want to basically sign up for an app to do a bank transfer on their cell phone, which one gives some people in India all of their contact info from their cell phone, access to all their pictures on their cell phone, and all the information on their cell phone, give all those permissions just to do a bank transfer that you used to just be able to go to Chase Bank online and do before they did this shit. And they're trying to make it like Venmo or basically like what cryptocurrencies do, except it doesn't work. I mean, if you just see, there's all these 1-star reviews saying that it's shit, and it is. I mean, it's like people can't get it to work, and it crashes, and it's just. And if you call for support, it's a bunch of people in India who they can't understand your accent, and you can't understand theirs.
So is that the same thing with Bitcoin? When you try to cash it in for real money, you get a bunch of people in India.
Bitcoin is real money. You don't need anybody. You don't need to talk to anybody. I don't need to talk to anybody to send my Bitcoin anywhere.
How do you spend your Bitcoin? Who takes Bitcoin?
Anybody takes a BitPay card. Lots of people like to be paid in Bitcoin. Overstock takes it, but it's not really. It's basically being used as a store of wealth and not a currency right now. There's a lot of other cryptos which can be used to like Litecoin or Dash.
It's a stock.
It's not a stock. It's not at all a stock. But anyway, don't use Zelle. This application doesn't work. And I basically sent Chase I sent Chase Bank a support ticket saying, "Let me know when you accept Bitcoin."
You'll be waiting till hell freezes over.
Well, they sent me a response, but I know I will be. But they sent me a response. I didn't bother to read it. But I did send them that to Chase. I said, "Let me know when you guys accept Bitcoin, and please read please read the Google Play reviews on the app you want people to use for Chase QuickPay to work." And I mean, so anyway, I screen shared that. If you're in Chase Bank, you have a Chase credit card, forget about Chase QuickPay. It doesn't work anymore, and don't whatever you do, don't load this thing because it doesn't work.
So when you're trying to send hush money, don't do it electronically.
Well, why would you? No, why? That's what I was thinking. G-Webs could pay for gun channels if he just got Yankee Marshall to file a sexual abuse charge against like Al Franken, and then there'd be a slush fund that they could get paid out of from Congress.
No, he can pay for it and do whatever he wants with it if he ran it like a business.
He doesn't want to do that, so. But we're not going to get into bashing G-Web.
Hey, it's his stuff. He can do whatever he wants. It ain't mine.
Yeah. What was the topic of the show again?
I don't know. You were talking about Bitcoin, and you just started comparing it to, I don't know, India or something.
No, I was comparing it to circles and mathematics that apparently you say, what is it based on? I said mathematics.
Yeah, because I can spend math at this grocery store. Hey, Ohio's asking about the Mary Jane and guns and stuff in Hawaii. What's going on there?
Well, last week we did the show basically that said if you have a medical marijuana card, the police sent out if they see that you have guns registered and you have a medical marijuana card registered, all these things, permits you need from the state, that then they'll send you out a letter demanding that you turn in your guns to the police station or sell them. So I don't have a medical marijuana card, so I don't smoke anything because my cardiologist said don't smoke anything. And I don't anyway. I didn't before. So
to High Point.
I need to actually see where is this all being typed, in the external or in gun channels? Let's see.
YouTube. He wants to know if there's any change in the position from the Hawaiian government.
I haven't seen anything in the papers. I did pick up a paper. It's in the other room. I should go get it. When I was getting some my safety check done, Alex Brody's. By the way, I needed to order some parts for my Blazer because they when I did an alignment on the car, they basically said the control arm and the bushings are all worn out, so I got to replace them, and that's going to cost some money. But I figured if they're all worn out, I may as well get it done before while the grid's still up and I can actually get the parts. But basically, the paper, the local paper, somebody left the paper on the
Bitcoin.
What's that?
Can you buy the parts with Bitcoin?
Why would I want to?
But
I could buy it with the BitPay card.
Point.
Look, this is if you want to spend your Bitcoin.
Auto
What
parts.
part of people are using it as a store of wealth and not currency? Didn't you understand? Okay, but I will. Let's see. Let me go to my.
What good is it if you can't spend it?
You can spend it. It's just, but people don't spend it on pizzas because the transaction fees for Bitcoin are too high. If you want to buy a pizza, you'd have to use Litecoin or Dash to actually have it make sense.
Selling the phony Bitcoins at the pizza place.
Well, those were phony Bitcoins from an idiot on the street. I mean, if people are dumb everywhere, so I mean, if people want to buy something from some criminal on the street, then that's what happens. But let me get on to this other. I'm going to just show you the BitPay site, and then you can. I know you won't shut up, but at least I will have explained how you can actually spend Bitcoin easy.
What?
wow.
Won't shut up. Here it is. Screen share, Bitcoin. Get started with Bitcoin payments. You could either accept Bitcoin at your store, spend Bitcoin securely, and basically you get a card for $10 and you could load as much Bitcoin as you want on it. You could withdraw $10,000 or the equivalent every day and spend $50,000 every day with the card worth of Bitcoin. As much as you want Bitcoin as you want to load onto this card, you could spend it all with just this particular site here.
Can you make a one-time $800 withdrawal for actual cash deposited in a real bank?
I don't want to make a one. Why would anybody want fiat currency anymore? It's going the way of the dodo bird.
Because that's what we spend. Everything is still based on it.
Only for a short while longer. It's not going to matter.
Yeah, you feel that way.
It's going that way.
I don't think
it's going the way of the dodo bird. You don't think that fiat currencies, every fiat currency, the history of mankind has failed and returned to its intrinsic value of zero, without exceptions. It's only a matter of time.
Let's put it
this way. That's a historical fact.
U.S. dollar will not fail. It is what we will be using the rest of our life.
I'm talking to a dinosaur. So
no, you're talking to me.
You're a dinosaur. Can we talk about the magazine bans for a while? Talk about gun stuff for a while.
What magazine?
Is this a gun channel?
Yeah, Pose. This is something an email I got. A take action alert from the Firearms Policy Coalition. Let's see, oppose high capacity magazine ban. Basically, they're coming. All the Democrats next year coming out, or for Christmas, I guess, their Christmas present. They with all their ban this and ban that bills, and I know we're having a tax vote tomorrow, but and hopefully this stuff won't even be brought. But this is a federal bill that would outlaw any magazine that holds more than 10 rounds of ammunition.
They've tried this 100 times before.
Yes. I know. But I just wanted everybody to know about this, and they can if they go to Firearms Policy firearmspolicy.org, they can take action and sign a petition against the bill.
Who wrote the bill?
Author Representative SD Elizabeth H., Democrat from Connecticut.
Yeah, her name was on some previous.
There you go.
This year. Yeah, I remember seeing her name on some previous anti-gun bills this year already. So,
And you're going to have that, but are they really? Do they have enough power to push anything through?
oh,
I
they
don't
they
think
might.
so.
It's the same thing over and over again.
It
Yeah, it's a
is.
broken record.
They're going to keep pushing and pushing until, hey, someday maybe people will get lazy and forget to vote against it, and it'll slip through.
Yeah, I hope not, but they keep trying. Anyway, I did want to share with you guys. I was looking at some of the houses I might be able to buy with Bitcoin next year. And I thought you might like this one, Dusty. It's less than the $70 million place. This one's only like 680,000.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not bad.
So this one's on a road over there's like a black sand clothing optional beach like a few hundred yards away from here. But there's the beach.
All right, that would be fun.
Yeah, I've been there. There's basically naked women doing cartwheels along the beach here quite often. And there's usually a bunch of people here with some drums and some weed smoking and banging on the drums and chanting.
You really think I would be allowed to go to that beach?
Why not?
It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen.
What do you mean? Who's gonna stop you? Your wife?
Yeah, that would be the first stop.
Just because they're naked doesn't mean they're gonna run up and want to jump all over you or anything. But anyway, I like this particular house.
I would want to jump over.
You'd want to jump on that.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I was just saying I like this particular house, and it's a nice one. It's not as nice as a place with the $70 million estate with the infinity pool, but this one is on the island, and I like the area, and it's pretty remote. I mean, it's not too remote. There's a bunch of houses in this one particular area by that beach, probably because of the beach. But if you want to risk not being killed in a big tidal wave, then if you like oceanfront living, then it's not a bad choice. But anyway, and there's one other place for like half that price, but it's just it's even more remote. So this is up Red Road from that vacation area I showed you. This is about 3 miles away from that vacation Sunrise house. So here's another one in the other direction. It's just like a little cabin. You could build a real house on there, but this is like an off-grid solar-powered cabin right on the ocean, and it's in a remote part. It's about 2 miles away from that vacation place, but it's just a tiny little cabin. You could build a bigger house on there, but it's just basically right on the ocean. It's its only real appeal, if you like that kind of thing. And it's off grid. Where's here? You can see here's the house right here. Here's the little cabin or whatever you want to call it. And here's the ocean. So the thing about this, if you go swimming out in this ocean, the tides really rip around the east tip of the island. So if you go out swimming, don't go out swimming too far because the rip currents will take you right up to Tahiti.
Plus, you said there's germs in the water.
Not in this area, no. I was saying about that in Kapoho, that happens. In Kapoho, see what happens is there's water flows downhill through rocks, right? And the rocks filter it. But in Kapoho, what they did is everybody wanted to have like if you get like a backhoe even. And there's this guy he would just dig holes into the ground until they hit water. And then it would fill up with water coming down from the mountains, and it would make a little tide pool. And in between, what happens is people put because they would just build septic tanks into the house to deal with the sewage or not septic tanks, but just cesspools. And so in between the cesspools, because they didn't used to require septic tanks when they started building back there in the 50s, and all these and all the tide pools, artificial tide pools that got dug in the backyards of like every house because they look cool. Over the years, it's turned into a toxic mess in Kapoho. But this isn't Kapoho. This is up the road from there, like 2-3 miles.
So those beaches are safe then,
except for the currents can carry you out to into the deep ocean. So you have to be able to swim back. The currents can kill you, or a tiger shark or something like that. But yeah, your main risk is that if you swim out too far, you get caught in a rip current and it just takes you out to sea and you're never heard from again. But
okay.
So it's dangerous. But if you don't swim out too far, that's not a problem. But you can get it's like in Hawaii. You have to respect the power of nature and the ocean, especially. I think if you're in the Marines or the Navy, you probably learn that one way or the other over time. But in Hawaii, people get killed on the shore all the time. So it's like opihi pickers. It's like this mussel that grows. It's a delicacy of this kind of clam mussel that grows right at the waterline. And opihi pickers that try and harvest those get swept out to sea occasionally. And because it's dangerous, because these particular mussels or clams grow right under the waterline, so along the rocks on the shore. So they have to like go down under the waterline between waves, try and pry off a clam off of a rock and get back up before the huge wave smashes them into the rock, and then they get pulled out to sea and are never heard from again. And that has happened. So, but it's if you like living in the jungle on the edge of the world, it's it is what it is. You could build a real house on this. You could build a real house on this, and it wouldn't have to be just a shack. But that
almost looks like a mobile home.
It almost does, but it's just a shack. It's basically just a little shack that they built. But it's got solar power, so and a septic tank. So anyway, so much for all that stuff. Property in Hawaii.
It's a mobile home. Take it from me.
Looks like it has a coming out the front.
Well, it could be. They could have shipped one.
Now wait, Hawaii, you were asking how you could become a hick. This might do it for you.
Well, you a redneck.
but not a hillbilly. But not a hillbilly.
Well, if you move it further up the volcano, then maybe.
Further up the volcano? Well, yeah. If I move further up the volcano, yeah. But I do like living on the ocean. There's nothing like it.
You got to buy all your decor at the Dollar Gentry.
There is no Dollar Gentry. So there's the road.
Ohio said he saw the trailer hitch on the end. So
I could be trailer trash.
Yes,
that looks like a hitch to me, right?
Well, it's got satellite TV, solar power, septic tank. I don't know. Looks like a pretty tricked out little cabin. But if you say it's a mobile, converted mobile, okay.
Hey, I mean, it's on the beach. It's big enough. It'll do the job.
There's even room for an infinity pool. I could build an infinity pool here,
Why would you put a pool right next to the ocean?
Because the pool doesn't have tidal waves that'll carry you out to sea and kill you.
No, a tidal wave is a big wave. It'll take out the whole house.
Well, a tidal wave coming on this particular beach, I don't know. It's on a cliff, and it's kind of it looks to me like it's about, I don't know, is that a 40-foot cliff, 30 feet? Let's see, where's the picture of it? That's like 50 feet over the sea level. If you look to me, 50 feet over sea level.
That's a drop off. That's not tapered.
That's natural. That's not tapered.
And how are you going to get out there to go swimming? How you gonna go skinny dipping, boy?
You basically, it's called, you wear sandals and you walk carefully and slowly. I mean, if you don't swim out too far, you'll be okay. But this is right near the east tip of the island, and the currents really whip around the east tip of the island. So you definitely can't swim out too far. Anyway, all right. So I guess I'm done showing the hillbilly trailer hitch. All right. Let's see. So we covered the magazine ban. We did some gun stuff. Did some Western stuff. I showed you my new EMP save my Bitcoin prep. So basically, what happened if the nuclear siren goes off, then Hawaii has a new nuclear siren. Then I just immediately throw my laptop and my cell phone into the that bag. And it basically unfolds. It's a pretty big bag. It's sold by Crossbreed. I got it off Amazon. It wasn't too expensive. It was, I think, less than $20. And they said the military uses this. Is the same thing they supply to the military. So that's, and you can heat seal it too. I didn't look at all the directions or go online and watch any videos on it, but it's what the military uses for protecting small things, and should do the trick. Like a portable little.
Why?
To protect the Bitcoin and my data on my computer and my
We're
cell
going to
phone.
protect that Bitcoin that's not worth anything.
It's worth a lot.
The smoke clears. He's going to pull this thing out of a bag. He's going to show somebody, look how many Bitcoins I have. And they're going to be like, that's nice. How about some food and water and gasoline? And
Now, the first rule of Bitcoin is you don't show people your Bitcoin.
Yeah, because you don't want them to think you're crazy.
Well, I'm very happy about my Bitcoin investment, and it's doing very well. Thank you, and it should do well into the future.
But we like picking on you about it.
That's okay. I love you guys too.
Oh, was asking about shooting into the ocean. I think I asked you about this once, and you said that you can't out there.
Can't what? Shooting to the.
Yeah, use it. Just as a your impact zone for target practice.
Well, I suppose it would depend on your neighbors. The nearest police station is about 40 miles away, but there is one 40 miles away. So it really depended on if your neighbors called the cops on you. There are shootings around there more lately, but like down the road in Hawaii and Pacific Paradise Park, there's shootings all the time, unfortunately. Let's see. And basically what happens is what happens around this area because of the tides that I told you is that not necessarily right here, but some around here, if somebody was to kill somebody, what they do is they just go out to the ocean around here and just at low tide throw the body into the ocean. And the only time, basically, it'll get taken out to sea, and either the sharks will eat it or the body will show up in Tahiti or something. But what has happened is usually the bodies have gotten caught up in some fisherman's fishing line, and they got hung up on a line. And then the fishermen come in to check their fishing lines, and there's like bodies attached to them instead of fish. And so then the police have a decomposed body to try and figure out who it is. But the reason they do that is because that usually doesn't happen. The tides just take the victims out to sea. But there are a lot of fishermen out here, so nothing's guaranteed. But that is one way people dispose of bodies around here. But
here we take them up north and feed them to the hogs.
and that's why. And then you eat the hogs. So basically, what you're saying is you eat murder victims.
Fisherman there, you're like, what's this?
You flipping hillbilly. You feed your hog with dead people, and then you eat bacon. What do you expect?
Ooh, bacon.
Yeah. Bacon, though.
I'm not allowed to eat bacon because of the saturated fat content. I'm not allowed to eat pizza. I'm not allowed to eat bacon. I'm not allowed to eat egg yolks. I can't even have flippin' ice cream anymore. But Jack and Coke is okay. So. All right. Let me
So far, I have restrictions.
I thought you were going to flush out your system with beer. That'll cure you, right?
But I kind of made a promise I wouldn't drink tonight. Well, promise very well.
Yeah, I didn't want to crack up my shit hits the fan Costco size Jack Daniel. So when I was at Walmart picking up my meds, I picked up a bottle number 7.
Okay, that bottle will be worth more shit hits the fan than your purse with the Bitcoin in it.
Well, hopefully before shit hits the fan, I'll be able to buy like a very awesome bug out house somewhere, either up on the volcano or on the beach here, with the Bitcoin, because it's a store of wealth. And we'll see what happens. Time will tell, and time is on my side. Fiat currency is going to shit, and Bitcoin is going to the moon. Bitcoin is motherfucking here. There's going to be 2 kinds of people. People with Bitcoin and people who dig. You dig. Because I have Bitcoin.
I'll stick. I would rather have my soybeans in the bin. I'm sorry.
Well, how are you going to send soybeans on the internet anywhere?
They make things called semi-trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I could send my Bitcoin all the way to Europe, like now, and
they'll
I don't need a semi-truck. No, somebody will say, thank you for the Bitcoin.
They'll send it back and go, we don't want this shit. We want some soybeans. We're hungry.
I can load my beans on a truck, send them. Excuse me.
So Squib, you're
3 miles, and I'll have a check in my hand within a day's time.
Another piece of paper that's worthless. So Squib, when you bug out, your bug out plan is to go to, if the shit hits the fan, is to go to Dusty's place, and your whole family's just going to eat soybeans for a few years.
Well, we can hunt for deer and squirrel and rabbit,
but your main diet will be soybeans.
Well, where are you going to use the soybeans? Probably to distill alcohol.
Oh, we could make tofu.
Yeah, we'd be healthy.
Have you ever made tofu out of soybeans?
Yes, actually I have. My wife likes it. She actually buys it.
Well, your wife married you, so.
I mean, we have a bin of, but yet she buys that milk all the time, which I could do also if I really had to. Right now, we just sell the soybeans and we buy those products, but
right,
they are there. It's in the bin, and now, like I said, my wife has really gotten to where she likes soybean milk. She would rather have that than cow's milk.
I like the almond. I get the Silk almond milk for cereal that I have with. I like have my Raisin Bran in the morning for breakfast. It tastes good. I like the almond milk. I get that Silk brand. It tastes pretty good with Raisin Bran. So, but I don't particularly like the soy version. I like the almonds ones, but I know almonds require a lot more water than other things that you grow.
We got lots of that.
Is it really snowy out there lately?
It's melting today.
No, today it rained. Day. But we did get, I don't know, we had 6 inches of snow the other day, I think. I know I had to go run my driveways, but pretty much it's all melted today.
Do you have a problem with your snowplow?
Huh?
Didn't you have a problem with your snowplow?
No. I'm just not a big plow person. I don't like doing it.
Oh,
No, I had a problem getting it out of the barn because I wasn't ready yet, and I had it buried in my barn.
Okay, I got another DVD that I actually saw the movie at a movie theater, and I liked it when it came out. Jeff Bridges, Christopher Pine, and Ben Foster, and it's in Texas. It's based in Texas. At least the plot is. May have shot some of it in Utah. I don't know, but it's called Hell or High Water. And I don't know if you guys seen this, but in this story, they're basically Ben Foster and Chris Pine play brothers, and Jeff Bridges plays a Texas Ranger who's nearing retirement age, mandatory retirement, and the brothers have lost their mother to cancer, and Ben Foster was like the bad brother who spent most of his life in jail and a criminal, and Christopher Pine plays like the good brother, but he comes up with a plan because the mother had a reverse mortgage on to pay for all her medical bills on their property on the ranch in Texas, and it turns out that their property actually had oil on it. So the bank was, for about $20,000 worth of debt, was going to repossess the farm, Texas Midlands Bank. So they decide to go rob Texas Midland banks to get all the money to pay off the loan. And so they just robbed the cash drawers out of like 20 banks. And so Jeff Bridges is on it. And the last bank they robbed, they come up against a whole bunch of in the larger town, a whole bunch of CCW carriers, and who don't like the fact that they're robbing the bank at gunpoint, and so they go after they shoot up the getaway car and they chase after it down the highway, and the bad guy stops the car, pulls out a full auto AR, and opens up on like 10 cars. And with people with just pistols, and so they turn around and run away. And then there's a shootout right after that where they split up, and the bad brother shoots it out with the police and gets killed. And but they basically, what they do is they take the money to a Indian casino in Texas, and they have they just buy a bunch of chips. And he sits around all night, and then he turns it in for a check to the bank that they actually robbed, but it's to pay off the debt, the mortgage. So they paid the bank off with the money that they stole, and they formed a trust, and the bank looks after the trust. Basically, they get away with it, except one of the brothers gets killed, but he basically, the bank gets all the money back, but they don't get the house, and they give I won't give away the whole ending, but at the very end, Chris Pine and Jeff Bridges have a confrontation because the Texas Rangers partner gets killed, and basically Chris Pine's character says, well, I think you have a pistol somewhere on you, and I know you're retired and all, but why don't you see if you can reach your pistol before I blow you off of the porch? But then the family shows up, and they decide not to shoot each other right then. And they said maybe later they'll have another fight. So it tells him where he lives in town. And so, but it's a really good story, and it's basically about the two brothers really love each other. And it's really about, I think that it's about the banks are the bad guys, which obviously when I remember seeing this at the movie theater, and everybody was cheering when the banks got robbed. It was amazing. People just don't like banks, and that's why everybody is piling into Bitcoin, because they just don't like bankers. And it's like people, the characters in the movie, and it was like they were trying to portray Texas as part of Texas as the I think it was the Texas Rangers partner was an Indian, and he said, no, this all used to be our land until the white people came and took it, and now the white people that live here are having their property taken by the banks, so we don't really care. Why should we be upset? And but because of that, it kind of really all tied together, and I thought it was a good movie, so I bought the DVD. So they got me to pay for the same movie twice. That's entertainment. But it was a good film. And I got another one that I haven't seen yet. I think if the shit hits the fan, people will be, especially if you live in cold weather and are trapped in your house, stuck around doing nothing because it's like freezing outside, like they were in Hateful Eight. But I think DVDs will be actually a good barter item. Because people just want to have something to do besides sit around and stare at the wall if you're snowed in. Of course, I don't live in Michigan. I was in Mammoth one time, but for a few months when my car broke down, I had to wait for parts in the Eastern Sierra. Yeah, that was something. But yeah, I think DVDs will be a good barter item, especially in hard weather areas, cold weather areas. Because I don't know what you guys do besides just clean guns when it's snowing outside. Drink. Well, you're not much of a movie guy. You don't just, when it's really cold, I don't know how much snow you get where you live, but you don't just watch DVDs or something.
I shovel the snow.
Oh, you shovel your neighbor's snow too for?
No, he has a snowblower. I shovel ours. I shovel at work. Sometimes I shovel the street when the snowplow don't show up.
Ugh.
Wow.
Well, I don't shovel snow. I have a blade on my truck. I'll push it, but I ain't gonna shovel it.
I
Why
mean,
not? It's good exercise.
Yeah, right. I mean,
I'm lazy.
It is, but
Oh,
if you need some activity, yes, but you can actually strain yourself if you do too much. You just have to moderate.
Yes, we have a lot of heart attacks in Michigan.
Yeah, because of the cold weather, your heart has to work harder and stuff like that. Yeah.
There's or a lot of people die shoveling snow. Believe it or not.
I believe it.
Because they don't realize they're sick, and they go out and they do that exercise, and it does them in.
Yeah, does the cold weather constrict your arteries? Is that what it is on your extremities a little? Make it hard where your heart will have to pump harder than usual?
Yes.
Okay.
But I mean, the snow, if it's snowing real bad and visibility's bad and traffic is tied up and they haven't plowed or salted, or it's snowing so much that it's really pointless to plow or salt until the roads clear up, you're better off staying in if you can. But you're not trapped in the house. I mean, unless the power goes out, you can go down the street and go to the store and get supplies if you need,
Beer.
bread, water, milk, whatever. But I mean, overall, it's not like it snows and everybody goes, oh, we don't dare go out there. You just jump in the truck and go to where, if you had something scheduled, you go do it.
Yes and no. I mean,
I couldn't call
we
my
are both
work.
spoiled too.
I couldn't call my work and say, we got 6 inches of snow. I can't make it in today. They'd be like, don't bother coming in.
Ever. Yeah.
Squib and I are both spoiled, though, because we have four-wheel drive vehicles. And we are going to go, if we want to go somewhere, we're going to go somewhere.
And snow tires. You both have snow tires on your vehicles?
No, regular tires.
I thought you said you had a tracked vehicle. All right. But Dusty said he had snow tires, right?
I do have snow tires, yes. But
Mine are rated for snow and off-road and rock crawling and things like that, but I didn't buy them as snow tires. They're the ones that come with the truck. When I bought it, I just kept buying the same ones over and over again.
Hmm. Well, I don't have to worry about snow too much out here. More worried about like walking under a palm tree and having a coconut fall off and hit you on the head. A lot more that's a lot biggest danger around here is coconut bombs.
Oh, Ohio 45 brings up a good point here. When you're snowed in, you reload. Yeah, I do some reloading in the cold weather because I like going to the range to shoot when there's snow out because nobody goes out to the range. You get the place yourself. The only thing is you lose all your breaths in a snowbank, so that turns me off. That and your hands get really cold, and it's kind of hard to articulate the firearm there after a while. And then Patrick says, when you're snowed in, you make babies. Yeah, you do that too.
That's one thing.
we did that, but not anymore.
Well, all right. Let's see. Is there any other gun stuff we need to talk about besides reloading in cold weather? So reloading, drinking, and screwing in cold weather. So.
And not in that order.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, let's see. All right. Did we cover all the gun? What about? Did you guys hear anything about that? Atlanta airport had people got stuck in there with the power out, and were like trapped on planes because they couldn't deplane. But after they landed, they were stuck on the plane.
Real good contingency plan there, huh?
Well, they can drink and screw, but they can't use the bathroom or something or get off the plane, apparently.
Do you want to be trapped on the tarmac in a plain skank?
For 14 hours, it'll get pretty rank.
That's why I drive where I want to go.
Same here. Everybody wonders why I don't want to fly.
I'm not opposed to flying. I'm not afraid to fly, but for what it costs and all the bullshit you got to go through, I'll just drive.
I did look into a plane ticket to Hawaii's place there, and I was going to have like $1,300 into flying out to visit him. So,
is that just was that for your wife too, or just you?
Just me for a round trip.
Yeah.
So that off for a while.
Well, Hawaii will still be here, and it'll still be warm. Beautiful.
Why don't you just hook an outboard motor to the island and move it a little closer to the mainland?
There you go.
I'll see what I can do about that.
Can't you just navigate that thing a little closer to the...
I think I did find one cheap flight for like $800. But even then, it's a little out of my budget for this winter.
Oh yeah, if you go in winter, the prices will be higher. They charge more during the winter. The airlines do, the vacation rentals do, everything costs more. If you want to go to Hawaii in the winter, so does everybody else, and so it costs more. Because who wants to be stuck in Michigan without any Bitcoin?
Well, what I decided is probably the month of February, I'm going to go to Florida.
Well, that sounds okay.
It's like Hawaii, but without the volcano.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have an active volcano here, that's for sure. For certain.
I have a sister that lives there, so I can go stay with her for a month. Like the month of February.
Well, hey, the price is right, man. And are you going to drive there? Going to drive to Florida?
Yeah, it's not that long of a drive. I can tell you,
it's an enjoyable drive, actually.
We drove from Cape Canaveral straight home and nonstop and I think it took 24 hours exactly.
Were you speeding?
As little as possible, actually. We between the rainstorms keeping us from going too fast and just not wanting to get a ticket, we kept it at or below the speed limit most of the time. There's just a few areas where we might have gone a little over, but not excessively. Not like doing 116 in Utah or something.
But that's kind of my plan for this winter is I'll probably go visit my sister for a few weeks in February. My wife and family can't go with me, but
I'm probably going to make it out to Arizona in the summer, I think. But we'll see if my folks decide to lease a place out there and see if they like it to move out there or not. It's up to them. It's wherever they want to live right now. They're kind of happy in California, except about the taxes, which are going to be going up after I get tomorrow. There's going to be the big vote on the tax bill. It's been driving the markets up, thinking it's going to pass, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Hey, Dusty, Ohio's asking where in Florida?
Claremont, right around Disney World.
Oh, okay. Off of I-4?
Disney just bought 20th Century Fox. I think William Fox is rolling over in his grave.
Reset up my Gun Channels account yet. A little kind of powwow with G-Webs this weekend, so
okay, that's good.
Set things back up again.
Well, that'll be okay. I don't mind emailing you the link. It's
I know, but I miss everybody, so.
Well, yeah, you just it's like a community. Some people make friends, and some of your friends are knowing friends, and some of your friends are good friends, some of your friends are bad friends, very bad friends. But it is what it is.
No. He made it sound like it was all
like you as a rogue.
Yeah, the Rogue One, Dustiest Rogue One.
So I'm better off not getting on?
I don't know. Has anybody seen the new Star Wars film yet?
No, it was pretty much sold out at the local theater last weekend. Now, Dusty, it don't matter to me either way. I'm just joking around.
Okay. I thought maybe you had some advice for me. I was going to take it. So.
No, don't take my advice. Don't take Hawaii either. He'll try to get you to buy Bitcoin.
That'll never happen.
It's your funeral without it.
Also, guys, one thing. Night Strike and I spent hours talking together.
You have my condolences. Did he actually say anything that meant anything over this time?
Well, yes, he really did. And I would like to see some people get behind him and really help him develop what he has. He basically, and you guys were kind of talking on it earlier about Jaeger. Night Strike has developed the same platform as what Jaeger and those guys are talking about. And got on his new platform, and we did not use Google Hangouts. We got on his new platform, and we talked most of the night on his new platform that he wrote, and it works great. What he needs is help to market that platform. He needs to get gun advertisers.
As far as I'm concerned, Night Strike is the scourge of South Carolina. I'm not really interested, but I won't get in his way or anything.
I don't feel that way about him. I think he's very talented and very clever. I was impressed with what he had done. I mean, I know everybody rubs everybody the wrong way. I've talked with Knight. He was on your show the night that I got mad at G-Webs. He was also very influencing to me to go ahead and send an email to G-Webs and try to correct our situations. And we also talked about his platform. Google platform is going to be gone very soon.
It's disappearing over. I mean, it's like it's almost as bad as the dollar. It's disappearing. it's like fiat currency, and it's. I mean, boy, everything's so restricted. You know, I can't watch my own videos on my own cell phone anymore. If I go to like on my cell phone and punch up my own YouTube channel, it's so restricted. I can't play any gun videos about. I can't watch my own videos on my own cell phone. It's like that's how restricted it is. You know, I mean, that's crazy. There's all this political correctness. I mean, when they restrict Google, YouTube so bad that you can't even watch your own videos. I mean, what do I ever say or do that's bad? I mean, we talk about guns, but that's not bad.
So if we had our own platform that was totally guns, what could we do?
Well, nobody, but I don't think that I don't know if anybody else would watch, because what Google has is a platform that spread it out across the whole planet that anybody anywhere can watch. I mean, I have viewers in Australia, I have viewers in New Zealand, I have viewers in Japan and India and the Philippines, and they can watch if they want, and that's okay. But
what I'm saying, Strike needs to do with his platform and that now, we need to get gun manufacturers advertising form, which right now they cannot advertise on YouTube. You know, but actually have a gun community that is getting gun advertisers, and it would grow. What I'm saying is I can see where, and I think that's kind of where Yeager has gone with his own platform. He's figured out a way that he can make the gun community grow, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, I'll believe it when I see it. I think I'll be in that infinity pool before that happens, but we'll see.
But like I said, Night Strike platform that works better than this Google Hangouts that we're using right now.
What's the bandwidth of this platform? I mean, did he stress how many people can do shows? How many viewers can watch before it all crashes or jams up? I mean, but I know that's an expandable thing, but it's that's what Google
that's
has
where he's at right now.
You know what Google has
right now with needing help from other gun channel members. He needs to buy the servers.
But that's expensive. Google has that in abundance, and they have what's called market capitalization, it's so. I mean, as one of the top stocks, most capitalized stocks on the planet, Google's one of them. I mean, Apple could buy. I mean, like Disney just bought Fox, but Apple could buy Disney and Fox just with petty cash, because they have that much cash lying around, and they can't. That's not even counting the overseas cash that they're going to bring back if the tax bill passes. I mean, all that market cash buys bandwidth, and that's what Google has in abundance. That's why VidMe probably failed, is because no bandwidth. Bandwidth costs money, and they were losing money instead of making it. You know, and
myself, I will never buy an Apple. Totally anti. I will never buy an Apple product.
Well, I will tell you this about Apple. I was anti-Apple, and I shorted them because I thought, so I will never short Apple again, is what I will tell you. I'm not pro-Apple, but I'm definitely learned my lesson about shorting them the hard way. I lost so many thousands of dollars shorting Apple because I thought, nobody buys their computers anymore. How does this company still exist? Then, it was iPhone, iPad, that music thing, and it was just like and every time I turned on the TV, they had that U2 Apple commercial with the U2 music, and it was like the stock just kept going up, and it keeps going up, and they have so much spare cash. It's like, don't short Apple, whatever. I'll just tell you, don't short Apple. You'll get fucked.
Yes, and guess corporation in the United States?
Apple.
Who pays the least taxes of any corporation in the United States?
I'm gonna guess Apple.
Yep.
But Amazon
right.
is right behind them. And I mean, the FANGs. You're talking about the FANGs are the biggest. That's what's keeping one thing that's keeping the stock market going is the FANGs. People just pile into the FANGs. It's not a widespread stock market advance. It's people just pile into the FANGs. The FANGs mean Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Alphabet, which is Google, and Netflix. So FANG FANGs. So people are buying into these gigantically market capitalization companies, and those companies keep going up, and they bring all the indexes up. And when a lot of that money comes back, they'll just be doing stock buybacks, and the price will go up. And so it's a false sense of the economy is doing great just because the stock market is going up, and Trump knows that, but for political reasons, he acts like it's not. But that's okay. He's a politician. And he's better than any of the other alternatives. He's trying to do the right thing. I just don't think with the national debt where it is, I don't think anybody can save the world economy, not just America's. There's just too much debt out there, but there's a lot of good things happening in the world too. So let's pray for the grid staying up, peace on earth, and I don't expect to get it. I don't expect to get a happy ending, but I will pray for it. So
much debt and too much paper, false money,
and not enough Jack Daniels. So
and not enough Jack Daniels. That's a good spot to end this show on, right?
Yeah, but I just picked some up today, so it's I'll end up on the Jack Daniels thing. Wait, I had something else. What was that? Oh yeah, where's I got to do the sound bites I didn't use since I'm not monetizing anything anymore.
Squib left while we had the best conversation tonight.
Oh, I was gonna say, what's the best
I had
shit?
to step away. Now I'm going to bed. So
wait a minute. So what's the best shit hit the fan gun overall? Overall shit hit the fan gun.
Overall,
yeah, long guns included.
Yeah, that's a good question. I like that one. Let's think about that one.
Overall.
Yeah. If you could have any gun for shit hits the fan, which one is it?
Oh, would you go with your AR?
Or for me, or for just suggest to everybody?
For you.
For me, M1 Garand.
Okay. Dusty?
M1 Garand.
I think I'm going to go with my Ruger 1022.
Okay, and the right answer is... It's the minigun.
Right.
Yeah. That's my ultimate. Yeah, the minigun. That's what I want.
Okay.
I'll take you off the police.
No, not the Ruger Mini.
No. Minigun. You're losing me.
What's a minigun?
Yeah.
It's a 6-barrel 7.62 by 51 Gatling gun that fires 2 different rates. It's powered by 28 volts direct current, and you mount it to an aircraft.
Unless you're Jesse Ventura or a Terminator.
Are you going to carry that through the woods to get your dinner for the day?
You can carry the gun all day long. You just can't carry everything that makes it work. The power pack and the ammo would weigh you down. You wouldn't be able to take a step.
I was thinking of a gun that I know I could carry all day long, shoot my food so I could eat for the day. And that's kind of why I picked my Ruger 1022. I know I could carry that gun all day, go out hunting. I could shoot squirrels. Heck, I could shoot a deer or bear or something with it if I wanted to. And
take out all the bears I needed with a minigun.
I know, but could you carry it to where the bears are?
I'll just put out some peanut butter and wait for the bears to come to me.
Okay, well, I know hunting that way would make me starve sometimes.
What you don't ever
I'm
bait?
gonna go.
You don't think baiting works?
I don't. I'm gonna study the animal and determine their paths.
Well, you're an ethical hunter. Yeah, I know you're not allowed to do that in most areas, but the reason you're not allowed to do it is because it works. So, anyway,
All right,
I'm
guys.
just saying.
Good night.
Trying to make that.
all right, guys. Good night, Squib. Happy Christmas if I don't see you before then. And
Happy Hanukkah.
yeah, it has been for me.
Hanukkah.
I've been really happy to make it to this holiday season very much that I'm still here. So anyway, we're going to end this chat as soon as I can find the button, and we'll see y'all next week. And y'all be very safe this holiday season, and God bless each and every one of you.
All right. Good night, everybody.